What's up, it's Deon back again with a controller tutorial. Today I am going to be taking apart this controller as best as I can in every way I know how to, and hopefully by watching this video, if you ever feel the need to clean your controller or take apart your controller, replace a part on your controller, hopefully this will serve as a good reference. I know I used like online pictures or whatever when I first learned how to do this, and I don't know, I just wish I always had a video. I know there are other videos on YouTube, but if for whatever reason any of them ever miss something, hopefully you'll find it on this video. All you really need to do this is a tri-wing screwdriver and a Phillips head screwdriver, and that's to undo all the screws. On the outside you have 6 tri-wing screws. That's just to they basically just use those screws so normal people won't be able to really to discourage people from opening it. You can obviously just buy these online for real cheap, and on the inside they use Phillips heads. So first you undo all these screws. Now if you'll notice right over here, I do keep kind of track of all the screws that I take out. There's no real reason for that. None of the screws are different lengths than the others, but something I like to do. Okay, so if you take apart this shell, you can see the back plate as well as the front plate. Really hard to tell, I guess, kind of black on black, but there's no real removable parts here besides the triggers, and I will undo those now. This is where your Phillips head comes in handy. Just something quick to note, I've noticed that there are two variations of these kind of screws on the inside. There are long ones and short ones. I'm not sure what gen or what year controllers have what screws, but in general the short ones work on both, and the long ones kind of fit better just on the newer shells. The back plate of this is a Smash 4, the new release, and they do feature these base plates. I think the very old ones didn't even have these plates, but I could be wrong on that. Now if you'll notice, the one thing different on these controllers, if you ever took apart different controllers, are these little metal things. Now if you take off that plate, you can take apart or take off the little triggers. Now, this is what the old triggers used to look like. When I say old, I mean the controllers that came out before the re-released Smash 4 Wii U controllers. Since then, this is basically, if I can get this off, this is what the new controllers triggers would look like. It's the exact same mold of plastic on everything, except this little metal piece is gone. And if you ask me why they got rid of that, I wouldn't know. Probably just to cut down on that small cost, but it is unfortunate because it gives the triggers a different feel. I personally just don't like that feel, so whenever I have, for all my controllers that I use to play, I always make sure I have this metal part on the triggers. It doesn't really do anything besides I don't know, kind of stopped the movement after a while, and that's just handy. You can take both of them out. They both kind of look like this. And like I said before, there's no other real removable part on the back plate. On the front, you have a lot. You have, if you ever want to replace your C-stick, you can just pop it out. You can see what the bottom of it looks like. It's compatible with all other C-sticks. It's compatible with Wii U or nunchuck sticks. You can even put in a control stick in there if you so desire. Just anything really works. Put the C-stick back and remove this part. When you remove it, make sure to note right here, if the camera will focus, the wire wraps around like a small plastic piece. Just take that out and the whole thing comes out. You'll see that there's the little rubber pads for the buttons. You can easily just take those off if you want. Here on the base plate you have your buttons. The buttons just they all pop out. They have their little, they have these little plastic parts on the side to make sure they're all aligned. The Z button comes out pretty easily. When you ever want to put your Z button back, you got to make sure that you have this metal part in this little clip. They have a specially molded part right there, and if you just insert it, you can make sure it's just like this. And when you put the button in, it clicks. Or it doesn't click, but you can tell it presses down. Underneath this little pad, you have your start button. And under this pad, you have your D-pad. Gamecube controllers all in all are pretty simple. I don't know the advanced stuff, like if you ever want to like solder anything onto this board. It's just pretty much, there's your rumble pack that's removable. These little things are for your triggers. When you put it together, or when you put it back together, you want to make sure that they're both up. And that's pretty much it. There's the removable control stick. I have a Wii U control stick on here, and you can very well put in almost any kind of stick that you want that's compatible. The great thing about Nintendo sticks are that they're all basically compatible with each other. So if you want to put in an old style control stick or a new Wii U, if you want to put in a nunchuck stick, or if you even want to put in like say a C stick, if you really want, anything is really possible. I'll actually have a video on like all the compatibilities of the different sticks later. So now that you have everything put back together, you put it, now that you have it all apart, you put it back together. Putting back your controller is fairly simple. You just do every step that I did to take it apart in reverse. Make sure that this cable goes back around that plastic peg that you took it out of earlier. Make sure that both of these little pegs are up so that they align with your triggers. Also make sure that these click back in place. There are little molds that the triggers come back into. And also make sure that you don't lose this piece. This is critical for getting a button input. And the first time I actually took apart my controller, I forgot about it, and then I realized later that I lost that piece and I had to get a different one. Once everything's back together and everything feels good, you make sure everything's flat on your controller plate, and you just basically pop the back in. If you did it right, it will sit flush on itself, and you can put the screws that you originally took out back in. And there you have it. You successfully took apart and reassembled your controller. Now hopefully this video helped you and you can customize or fix or clean your very own controller. If I left anything out, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.